So this is day 9 of the videos that I'm making to help raise awareness and understanding of PTSD, and today I'm going to talk about disconnection. It's not something that's mentioned specifically in the DSM, but is something that I think is well worth talking about. And if we think about what happens when someone experiences a trauma that leads to PTSD and all the aspects of PTSD that I've already talked about, we can start to maybe think about how disconnection would fit in. So we know with PTSD that people get flashbacks and they try and avoid the trauma and try and avoid memories of the trauma, and in doing so, much of their life kind of actually revolves around that trauma. So although their physical body is in the present, actually their attention and their mind is always being pulled back to this traumatic event. That in itself can make it feel quite hard to be connected to what's going on here and now. If part of you is at a barbecue and the other part is back thinking about or trying to avoid thinking about this traumatic event that you've experienced. And if it's a trauma that's been known about, one of the things that can happen is that people are very supportive at the start, and as time goes on they sort of forget about it and they're moving forwards, and actually they're leaving you behind because part of you is still stuck with this trauma. So that disconnect can happen over time sometimes. And there are some traumas that people don't talk about and they don't share with other people, and again that can lead to that disconnect where you're shutting a really important part of yourself away from other people. We connect to others through shared experiences where we don't have to explain why we feel a certain way, we just understand that. And in the same way, if you've had a really big experience that's actually quite significant to you, then that can disconnect you when you know that other people aren't quite getting it or really aren't getting it. And there can be a lot of shame sometimes with traumas. There can be a lot of shame, a lot of judging of yourself, or fear of being judged by others, or fear of this will change how other people look at you or how they think about you, not wanting to be defined by it. And all of those things can just be little subtle things that just disconnect you from other people. And for some people, if they don't really know about PTSD, then actually they've got lots of things going on around these flashbacks and these avoidances and these body memories, where they can actually start to be really concerned about what's going on and have thoughts of, am I going mad? And they try and hide that. And so again, that disconnects them from other people. And that's one of the difficulties with trauma, is the way it disconnects us from people and makes us feel very separate, so that it can be a really lonely place to be. And that's where, when we can start to help spread that kind of understanding of what's going on, and that actually what's going on is understandable, that can really help people just start to connect themselves and start to connect to other people, which is a big part of how we then can start to move forward. It's not the treatment in itself, but it can help people start to move forward into recovery. So I'll see you tomorrow.